Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. So I did a video on the Japanese competitors at the Tokyo Grand Slam. Takato, of course, one of them who is competing, and a lot of other guys as well, so check out that video. But in this one, I want to have a look at some other guys, some really high-level judoka from other countries that'll be at the Tokyo Grand Slam. Here's Sadalashvili coming back. Haven't seen him in a while, but he'll be competing at under 60s. Should be good to see. He's really young. Coming up, he's been training at Tendi a little bit, so it will be good to see what kind of progress he's been making. Yang, of course, from Taiwan. Always a strong competitor, although I don't think he does very well against the Japanese guys. I've said that many times before. And at under 60, there's going to be 4 Japanese, high-level Japanese judoka at under 60, so he's going to have to get through those guys. We'll see what happens. Revol from France, he recently took gold at the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam, so it will be good to see if he can continue that success. And here he is getting thrown by Aghaev, who is another kind of sneaky little judoka at under 60. He got some interesting stemmy waza. There's also Lee from Korea, and surprisingly he is the #1 seed, and I'm not sure exactly why. I can't think of anything outside of the Asian Championships where he got silver. But I guess the points from that are just so incredible that he's managed to kind of sneak up there. I mean, he's always competing, but I don't think he's had a gold medal finish in a really long time. So Lee, he's the #1 seed, but I do like Kim from Korea also. I think he's the more consistent judoka, a little bit higher level. Here he is taking out Takato, and he had a good performance at the Masters and the Grand Slam in Baku, but he did lose against this guy Nagayama. And Nagayama, if you didn't see my other video, he's my #1 pick for under 60. I don't think Takato will do it. And I definitely think Nagayama, with his recent success, I think he's going to continue that. And I think he'll probably get selected for the Paris Olympics. So that was a long list of judoka at under 60. Moving on to under 66 now. 2 guys in particular that I really like. Really consistent guys, always at the top of the podium, maybe losing once or twice. Vieru. And who Vieru is throwing at the moment, Yondon Perenlai. Those 2 guys are just really high-level guys. We'll see what happens with Abe Hifumi. I'm actually really excited to see if Yondon Perenlai faces up against Abe Hifumi again. Hasn't happened in a really long time. And another guy I'm really excited to see, and I do want to see him match up against Abe Hifumi, is Torne. Torne just recently kind of blew onto the scene. Incredible judo, really nice techniques, taking some good results. Silver at the European Championships. He's had a few golds as well. Astana was the last one that he had, but he's good, and I'm really excited to see what he does. So under 73 now, and on the screen there's Lima and Shavdat Toashvili. 2 guys, really nice judo, although Shavdat Toashvili, I think he maybe just kind of at the edge at the end of his career. Similar to Hashimoto, there's going to be good performances and bad performances. We'll see what happens on the day. Heydorov, he's someone that's just kind of gained way more experience in recent years, and now he's just starting to put it all together. Great newaza, great throws. Really hard judoka to beat. I think I would actually put Heydorov as my favorite to win the whole thing. I mean, I can't see Hashimoto going all the way. And then Shavdat Toashvili, same idea there. Lombardo is an interesting one. I mean, he's had some decent performances at under 73, and then he had an early exit the last time he was out. But I gotta say, looking at the list of competitors, I do like his chances against a lot of these guys. I like his chances against Shavdat Toashvili. I like his chances against Hashimoto, to be honest. And then a lot of these other guys, Sendo Chur, I mean, he's had some poor performances recently. Last time he was at Tokyo, he had an early exit, so I haven't included him here. Lombardo, I hope he does well. 81's now my favorite category, and unfortunately the man you are seeing on the screen right now is not competing. He's not there for whatever reason. His other Georgian teammates are, but Grigolashvili is not, so I'm not sure what happened there. I feel like I saw him on the list of judoka the other day, but he's not there now. So that's a good opportunity for a lot of these other guys. One in particular is Lee. And Lee, I mean, he is just a force of nature. I actually trained with a Korean guy not too long ago who had trained with Lee when he was coming up. They're both the same age, and he just said he was just such a monster, incredibly strong. And then the variety of techniques, he's like a genius. He can just look at something, pick it up, and do it. So, I mean, Lee, I think he might be the future. I think he might be one of the favorites to win the Paris Olympics. If he can figure out Grigolashvili, I think that's the only real problem that he has at the moment. I mean, he's taken out Nagase a couple of times now. So Lee, probably my favorite now that Grigolashvili is not here for some reason. But I will mention, there's also Cass. And Cass, he's a really strong competitor. Hasn't been on his high level form as of recent, but still, he does really well every time he goes out there. And just two quick little mentions before we go into under 90s. Schmidt from Brazil and Molai. Schmidt's another one, just like Lee, and a little bit really young, up and coming, good judo, and I'm excited to see his progress. So under 90s, and I mean, there's just a short clip of Murao just there. So he's probably going to pick him as my favorite for under 90s, but there's some really strong competitors as well. Here's one of them, Vantient. So Vantient, he had some poor performances and then just recently came back into form. So it's good to see him kind of, back doing his thing. There's also two Georgians in this category, Maizaradze. Maizaradze, it'll be great to see him. I really love his judo, what he does with those Georgian grips and that weird kind of osotogari that he has. And then his buddy, Bekauri, I'm not too sure if they are buddies or how buddy they are, but he's another guy with a really weird osotogari. Seems to be a Georgian thing. And so those two are going to be definitely two of the favorites at under 90s. I do like Murao. I think Murao beats Maizaradze. I think for Bekauri, it's kind of a bit of a throw of the dice maybe. I do like what I saw in the last contest, but Murao did get thrown by this awkward technique by Bekauri, this Yoko Wakare. So I feel like these kinds of things, they work once and then people kind of figure it out and know what to do. So it's a contest I really want to see. There's also Igolnikov, and Murao, he's taken him out a couple of times, but it'll be interesting to see what Igolnikov does when he comes up against some of the Georgian guys. And lastly guys, Bobanov, he was at the Asian Championships, although that footage is locked behind a door and key, so I didn't see that. I didn't see his performance there, so it'll be good to see him after his last performance at the Masters. One of my favorites to watch, but I gotta go with Murao for this one. I think he'll take it. Under 100s now, and Reyes from Canada, he'll be there. Also El Nahas from Canada, but Reyes, he kind of lives and competes from Japan. I know he spent a long time here, so it'll feel kind of like home for him. Coral is going to be there, and he's a really high level competitor. Look at this now as a transition. He does it well, very experienced, knows how to win. Lipatiliani, old Lipatiliani, he's going to be there, and that's going to be interesting. We'll see how he does. I mean, sometimes he just manages to pull it out of the bag. But, I don't know, age is not on his side, and things like this might happen. You never know. Recently crowned European champion, Kotsuev, he's going to be there. I'm pretty sure he'll be building on this kind of success. I mean, look and pick up Salamanzi here and dump him. Now, this is Batuktuk throwing Adamian. And I know Kotsuev is probably going to be one of the favorites. I mean, he is the #1 seed, but I got to go with Adamian, even though he does get thrown here. He is just way too good of a judoka. He's got all the skills in every position, just strength beyond what any of the other guys have. So I got to go with Adamian. He's got to be my favorite for under 100s. So next up, we'll talk about plus 100s. And of course the man, he's going to be there, Saito, and he's going to be wanting to win in front of his home crowd. Now, Teddy Raniere, he's not going to be there, although I saw him training recently in Japan. But he's not competing at the Tokyo Grand Slam, so no Teddy Raniere, but there will be Tushishvili, who has a win over Saito, although Saito also has wins over him. Yuldashev from Uzbekistan, he's another strong competitor who does well at plus 100s. A little bit smaller for the weight class, but makes it work. And then also, lastly, recently crowned world champion Tasuev, he will be there as well. Really excited to see if the matchup happens, Tasuev versus Saito. That would be really exciting. So let me know what you think, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.